My name is Kelsey Terry. I am an online marriage and family studies major, and I completed my internship at the Boys and Girls Club during the spring semester of 2014. I found the task of finding an internship daunting and was worried I wouldn't be able to find one. I felt like being an online student put me at a disadvantage because I did not have the school-friendly community of Rexburg surrounding me. So I began looking for an internship about a semester or so before I actually started the internship. I prayed for guidance and especially for ideas of where to look, and I found a number of things helpful. I consulted friends and family who gave me any and all ideas they could think of. I also consulted with my visiting teachers, who graciously and willingly kept their ears to the ground for opportunities and actually gave me some possible leads for an internship. I found ward members helpful as well, such as one sister in particular who worked with child services. She offered me some direction. In fact, she gave me a lead which led to an interview and an internship offer. I eventually turned them down, though, due to finding something else, but they did offer me a position for after graduation because they found some attributes in my degree and my experience that they were interested in. My bishopric also offered guidance and gave me the names of a number of local LDS families and marriage counselors to talk to. And last, I considered the volunteer experiences I gained from previous classes that had required me to find volunteer opportunities in the community. I eventually found my internship through a ward member. A family had recently moved into our ward, and the parents were asked to speak in sacrament meeting. She began telling us about their family and how she was the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club. At that point, I had been praying earnestly to find an internship with the next semester only weeks away, and when she said that, a light bulb quite literally went off in my head. I gave her a phone call, and 2 days later, my internship was lined up. I worked 5 days a week for 4 to 5 hours each day. It began as an after-school program and fed into a summer program at the end of the school year. This was a volunteer position, so it was unpaid, but the work was enjoyable and the experience was pretty much priceless. Responsibilities included teaching healthy habits classes, which I'll go into more detail later. I supervised free time after school as well, which is pretty much overseeing the activities on the playground and in the classroom during tutoring and homework hour. I also had the opportunity to run interactive games with the students, helping them work together and build a sense of team spirit and competitive morale. We also had the opportunity of communicating with parents. We kept them informed of struggles children were having with their schoolwork, behavior issues, and modes of action to take in different circumstances. With each child came different needs, and the best way to meet those needs, of course, was to communicate effectively with their parents. I also had the opportunity to run the after-school tutoring program, which was quite unlike any other tutoring program I've seen. So instead of adults tutoring students, this was a student-run program. I would teach the 4th and 5th graders a lesson and show them how to explain and teach certain concepts and lessons. By the end of the week, these 4th and 5th graders would then teach these lessons to the 3rd graders in our after-school program. The benefit of this type of tutoring program is that the students who performed the tutoring solidified their knowledge by teaching the concepts, and the 3rd graders received the information from someone who was closer to their level of understanding so they could describe it better. It really is a great program. During the summer, I also had the opportunity of running the music program at the club, which I'll also go into more detail about later. And last, I had the opportunity of handling disciplinary actions and molding the behaviors of the students. So let's talk about the Healthy Habits program. This is a program where we taught kids how to care for their bodies, food, and so much more. Some of the example lessons are included at the bottom of the slide. We teach them about the health benefits of calcium and where to find it. We teach them about the importance of washing their hands and how to do it effectively. We give them lessons about how to select, wash, and prepare foods, such as the correct temperature meat should be when it's done cooking. We teach them how to keep their teeth healthy and strong by eating certain foods and brushing and flossing regularly. We teach them the health benefits of fruits and vegetables and how to keep their bodies clean and fresh, such as taking baths regularly and wearing deodorant. Many of these students come from low-income or single-parent homes where parents are busy trying to provide for the family. This program is in place to make sure that children are learning basic, important knowledge about their bodies and how to create lifelong healthy habits. Like I said, during the summer program, I had the opportunity to run the music program, which gave me the opportunity to create and implement some fun ideas. I taught the kids how to play piano, to respect instruments. I taught them about different genres of music, and we even started a choir. Most of them had no idea whatsoever what a choir was. And when I wrote choir practice on the board, they all said, "We don't want to do chore practice." I had to explain to them that choir was singing, which led to numerous outbursts of, "Can I sing this for you?" and "I know how to sing this song." I then had to explain that we were going to sing together, all at once. I don't think this idea was completely understood until the day we finally performed our choir show, which we were able to do for the staff, parents, and other students at the club. There were a number of ways that my internship was a benefit to the club. Many of the employees at the club had worked there for anywhere from 3 to 20 years, and my fresh perspective offered insights and unbiased opinions about students and programs. With rising living costs and the increase in minimum wage, the club has been short-staffed because it is a nonprofit grant-based organization. I was able to come in and offer free volunteer labor, providing them with an extra pair of helping hands. I was also able to add suggestions and ideas to improve existing programs and make connections with the students. With such a large student-to-staff ratio, it's hard to give attention to individual students who need help. But by working at the club, I was able to make connections with students who really needed it. I also brought different creative skills to the table. Currently, they did not have someone to run the music program, but I was able to step in and provide a learning experience with music for the students. I also received a lot of benefits from this internship. I learned how to apply theories, which is much more difficult in the moment than it is when analyzing a situation on paper. I've learned about theory after theory and thought I knew them inside and out, but when you're standing in a situation overwhelmed, it's really hard to remember all that you've learned. I also had the opportunity to learn about the structure of a nonprofit organization and how grants and funding play a role in the development of programs. I was able to practice controlling an environment in order to keep things under control and running smoothly. This took organization and patience on my behalf. I also learned how to manage large groups. I could have anywhere from 5 to maybe 30 or so students under my sole direction at any time, which was, to be honest, really intimidating and overwhelming. But with practice and trial and error, I learned how to set limits and expectations in order to manage a large group without turning to complete chaos. I was able to understand and learn about the interactions between students from different backgrounds and demographics, as well as the interactions between students and staff members and students and their families. It was interesting to watch how their interactions changed depending on the group they were with. Last, I was able to learn how to shape and mold students with difficult behaviors. This took a lot of patience and practice, but was a fulfilling experience overall. One definite connection that I saw time and time again that I've learned these last 4 years was what I experienced during my internship, was that self-fulfilling prophecy is very real. This is the idea that an individual will live up to the expectations that are set for him or her. Students recognize when we label them and understand what we expect of them. Even nonverbal messages portray our feelings and expectations, such as the way we look at a student. I had one student who was labeled as a troublemaker. He gave all of the staff members grief, and no one wanted to have him in their activity. But when he was in my class, he was a model student. Did I have problems with him at first? Absolutely. But I explained what was expected of him, and after we had a number of friendly little chats, I simply had to remind him that he was supposed to set the example in my classroom since he knew how things worked, and he would get right to it. This concept of expectations and self-fulfilling prophecy became very real to me during my internship. My internship was located in Fallbrook, California. For anyone who's interested in an internship with the Boys and Girls Club, can contact Lisa Ware at 760-728-5871 or at lisaw@bgcnorthcounty.org. I gained so much knowledge and gained great confidence in my skills through my experience at the Boys and Girls Club. I hope you're able to find an internship that does the same for you.